this part in our journey, we're now going to look at something about ourselves which is really important to understand. But we really can only look at this in a way of appreciation and joy because we already know who God is. And because we already understand how He relates to us. And so that gives us full confidence to be able to declare that we are weak. We're like these fragile clay vessels, and we depend on God for everything. See, we are actually fallen, and we are born into a fallen world. We're born this way. We don't become fallen when we have committed our first action that was wrong. No, in Psalm 51, David makes this very clear when he says, I was born a sinner from the moment my mother conceived me. So we're sinful even before we're capable of having sinful actions or thoughts. Our fallenness is actually in our very humanity. We don't simply choose to become sinful or choose to not be sinful. Ecclesiastes 7 also says there's not a righteous man. Isaiah 53 says we have all strayed away. But we can know this because of God's love, and we can boldly declare that we are these small, finite, weak beings. We're described as mist, as grass, completely dependent on God's justice and His mercy for everything. We depend on Him for His provision, for our security, even our joy and our salvation. So knowing this, it's also okay to feel incapable. If you are, as an artist or as a storyteller, or somehow in your creativity, you are feeling, I can't do this. I am not able to do this. You can rejoice in this. David could rejoice by declaring man is like a breath. In Psalm 144, he says, his days are like a passing shadow. So God is the one who equips us with all our capabilities. We find this all through the Bible. We are ultimately dependent upon Him, on His justice, His mercy, on His gifting us. All of this, all the works that we do are dependent on God. Anything that we even do outside of God, if we go about this just dependent and only following what we are able to do, and believe me, when we look at the world as humans, we can accomplish great things, but outside of God, it has little lasting value, because outside of God, it no longer is part of the kingdom. So, in our weakness, in our incapabilities, what can we do? How can we come together with this great and holy God? And we can know that even in our weakness, it is simply in humility, in humble confession. All the way back in the Old Testament, God made this very clear. We simply come to Him in this humble declaration of our weakness. See, declaring we are weak draws us closer to God. Psalm 51 says, "You do not desire a sacrifice, or I would offer one. The sacrifice you desire is a broken spirit. You will not reject a broken and a repentant heart, O God." See, knowing that we are weak tells us our unity with God, our relationship with God, the love of God for us is not dependent on us being successful as an artist, successful in anything we do. It is simply our humble humility coming before Him in all of our weakness and just declaring we depend on God. This is something of joy because this is how we enter into His kingdom.